A very good morning to all. Myself, Dr. Shruti Gaur, here today will discuss some facts and some topics regarding team building and conflict management. First of all, we should know what is team building. Team is, you can see here in the picture, team building is the people, those who are working together as a team, they work together, they join together, and they are having a specific goal for which they work with each other. If everyone gives one thread, the poor man will get a shirt. What does it mean? It means that if one individual will start giving their potential, their capabilities, their skills towards the achievement of a goal, so all the team members can do it in a very successful manner. Team building is a conscious process of improving the quality of relationship within a specific group, aiming to increase productivity, engagement, and overall efficiency in the workplace. If team building process is there in any of the organization, if people are working in a team, they can work and they can give more productivity and they can give the more efficient work in the workplace. There are 5 best practices of team building. The first one is showing appreciation. It is the role of the team member to show the appreciation towards the team members if they are doing something in a good manner or if they are doing in a well-defined manner. They should also have a build a sense of belongingness that the team members should always think and should also always be focused on that they are having the belongingness within the team. They are having their say in the team. Identifying team talents is the another thing that the manager can do. It's the hunting the talents of the team members and accordingly give or assign them the job what they can do. Then celebrating together. Celebrating together is another thing that boosts the morale of the team members within a group. If they celebrate together, they work together, they feel more belongingness towards the team, they will be more motivated, their morale will be high to work towards a practice that they are doing there. Sharing a common purpose. This is one of the foremost feature of a team building concept, that is they share a common purpose. All of the team members work towards the accomplishment of the same objective and of the same goal. Next, we have the stages of team building. We have the 5 stages of team building in which we will discuss about that how the team members start working with each other and at last how they get the success. First one is forming. The forming team acquaints and establishes ground rules. Formalities are preserved and members are treated as strangers. Here, the people are working, the team members are not actually start working. They come and connect with each other. They come in contact with each other for the first time and they just start with the introduction phase of each other. They should try to in this phase, they try to know each other that what kind of person, what kind of skills and capabilities another person is having. Next, we have storming. Here, members start to communicate their feelings but still view themselves as individuals rather than part of the team. They resist control by group leaders and show hostility. Here, the group members are feeling not the part of a team in the second stage also. They thought and they believe working individually here also. Next is norming. In norming, people feel part of the team and realize that they can achieve work if they accept other viewpoints. Here, actually, they start taking into consideration the opinions, the views, the thought process of the other team members also, and they think that they are actually the part of the team. And in the stage of performing, the team works in an open and trusting atmosphere where flexibility is the key and hierarchy is of little importance. Here, they actually start working with each other so that they can now here they have the spirit of getting the success within the team. So they start working with the team members in a full on mode. Next is adjourning. This is the last stage of team building. Here, the team conducts an assessment of the year and implements a plan for transitioning the roles and recognizing members' contribution. Here, in the last stage of team building, people enjoy their success and they adjourn from the same phase. Next, we have the advantages of team building. There are so many advantages of team building. The first one is identifying strengths and weaknesses. Here, the team members or the team leader can come to know, identify the strengths and weaknesses of the individuals, that what type of strengths an individual possesses and what are their weaknesses. Next is direct towards vision and mission. This is one of the foremost advantage of team building, that it directs towards the vision and mission, that what they have to achieve after a certain period of time and what the goals and how they can achieve those goals. Then it develops communication and collaboration. If the people are working, the individuals are working in a team, they develop the communication and collaboration within themselves because they know that they have to achieve a specific objective. So all of them work towards the achievement or accomplishment of the same objective. They work in a very collaborative manner too. It establishes roles and responsibilities. The individuals are very well know their roles and responsibilities, because once the work is finished from one individual, then it will move on towards the another one, so that they can work in a very cooperative manner. It initiates creative thinking and problem solving. Team building gives uh, the honor and this offer that they can create their own thinking, or they can think about what new things they can enhance or they can do in the system. And they are having a problem solving attitude also here. It builds trust and morale. Once the team manager gives the chance to the individual to work in a collaborative manner, to give their opinions, to give their thoughts, there the team members builds that trust amongst themselves and for each and everyone. It introduces and manages change. If there any change in the system, the team members are able to cope up with that change very easily, because they are skilled one and they are capable of, by getting the motivation from the team leader, they are able to manage the change very easily. It facilitates delegation. It facilitates the delegation and it gives the better productivity also. Like if the members are working in a team and they keep on getting the motivation, the rewards from the team manager, it will increase their productivity also. Next, we have the disadvantages of team building. First one is it develops conflict, because the people are coming from different backgrounds, where they're having different viewpoints, different opinions and thoughts. It can develop the conflict amongst the team members. Unproductive or free ride team members. Yes, in each and every team, there are few members, those who are dependent on others, and they want to be always lethargic in the team. They don't want to do anything, and they just have a hope that the other team members will do the work on behalf of them. It can lead to non-cooperation. Sometimes it can lead to non-cooperation because all the individuals, if start thinking like, I can do the work, I will not do that, and the other team member can do that. So it can lead to the non-cooperative environment in the organization. It is difficult to evaluate individual performance. Here in the team, if a person is working in a team, it's very tough to evaluate their performance individually, because end of the day, the goal that is achieved by the all team members is taking into consideration, rather than taking into consideration the individual performance of each and every individual. It involves cost. It involves cost because here the team that we make, It is from different departments, from different places. So to assemble them at a place, to make do the meetings with them, it's very it incurs some cost in that. Next, accountability and credibility issue. If an individual is working all alone, the accountability rests on his shoulders only. But if they are working in a team, the accountability of the whole team members is here. Means, like, if a person is doing something wrong in the, or if he is not working in the team as a team member, he is not all alone accountable for that. It is the accountability, the whole team will be answerable for that. So it is one of the disadvantage of this team building. This is team conflict. Conflict is an internal misunderstanding or disagreement that can occur between colleagues or leaders. That is, if two or more people are working together, they are having some disagreements between them because they are having their different thought process, they are having from their different opinions, their different viewpoints. Next, we have the types of conflict. Intrapersonal conflict. Intrapersonal conflict is the conflict that is within an individual, that he's having the problem within himself. Interpersonal conflict is the conflict that is within two or more people. If the conflict, if the disagreement is there between two or more people, that is known as interpersonal conflict. Intergroup conflict is the conflict that is within a group. If the people of a group, of the same group, is having the problem with each other, they are having the misunderstandings within them, or they are having the disagreements between them, then it is known as intra-group conflict. And last but not the least is the intergroup conflict. Intergroup conflict is whenever there is a conflict within two or more groups. Next, we have the reasons for conflict. There are so many reasons for conflict. The first one is conflict communication issues. People are having the communication issues. They are having their different, sometimes they are having their different languages because they are coming from different places. There is no clarity. There is misunderstanding. There is, they are hiding their communication with each other. If they are not sharing each and everything with each other, with all the team members within the team, there can be a communication issue within them. Next is personality clashes. People are different in their personalities, working styles, or values can cause friction between employees. Then competition, competing for resources. Competing for resources, recognition, or promotions can create tensions amongst employees. Role ambiguity, unclear job roles, responsibilities, or overlapping duties can lead to conflicts. Stress and workload. High stress levels and heavy workloads can result in strained relationships and conflicts. Next is organizational change. Nobody wants to go for a change. So every time whenever there is a change, the people are having conflict within the system. The changes can be in the form of, it can be in leadership, restructuring, or shifts in company culture can trigger conflicts among employees. Then diversity and inclusion. Differences in backgrounds, perspectives, and experience can sometimes lead to misunderstandings and conflicts if not managed effectively. Lack of trust. When trust is lacking among team members, it can lead to conflicts and strained relationships. Next, we have conflict management. Conflict management is the practice of being able to identify and managing conflicts sensibly, fairly, and efficiently. Conflict management process deals with incompatibilities or disagreements arising from, for example, diverging opinions, objectives, and needs. Next, we have the 6 C's of conflict management. There are 6 C's of conflict management. The first one is communication. Communication is when conflict emerges between the people, that is, the communication is not well defined. The communication that enable all parties in the dispute to openly express their viewpoints, worries, and emotions. This entails actively listening, demonstrating a genuine effort to comprehend the perspectives of others. Miscommunication can worsen conflicts. So, communication is very important within the team members to work together. If they will not communicate properly with each other, it will definitely lead towards the conflicts amongst them. Next is collaboration. Collaboration is the key in conflict management, aiming to achieve mutually beneficial outcomes rather than a winner takes all scenario. It involves exploring options, brainstorming, and creative problem solving to prioritize shared goals, fostering compromise and cooperation. Next, we have compromise. Compromising means finding a middle ground between opposing views, recognizing that complete satisfaction for everyone may not be achievable. It requires a fair and balanced approach where both sides give up something in exchange for an agreement. It's valuable in conflict resolution when parties are willing to make concessions for a resolution instead of holding on to their initial positions. Next is control. Maintaining emotional control is vital in conflict to prevent escalations. Conflict management includes managing the emotions, taking care of each other, and they should breathing, deep breathing, and breaks help maintain composure. Next is civility. Even in the midst of intense disagreements, it remains essential to approach others with politeness and empathy. Treating people with respect and courtesy helps diffuse tensions and creates an environment conducive to conflict resolution. Civility means refraining from personal attacks, name calling, and disrespectfulness, full conduct that can escalate conflicts. Instead, it fosters a more constructive and civilized discourse, increasing the likelihood of active listening and collaborative problem solving. The last point of the 6 C's of conflict management is commitment. Commitment means being dedicated to resolving the issue. It requires investing time and effort to reach a satisfactory conclusion. Parties in conflict must commit to finding common ground, implementing agreed upon solutions, and ensuring their effectiveness through follow up. Without commitment, conflicts may persist or remerge, potentially causing more significant issues down the line. Next, we have that how to handle conflict in the workplace. Talk with the other person. Ask the other person to name a time when it will be convenient to meet. Arrange to meet in a place where you won't be interrupted. Then focus on behavior in events, not on personalities. Here we have to focus on the events, that what happened, instead of with whom. With whom. Describe a specific instance or even event instead of generalizing. Listen carefully. Listen to what the other person is saying instead of getting ready to react. Avoid interrupting the other person. After the other person finishes speaking, rephrase what was said to make sure you understand it. Ask questions to clarify your understandings. Identifying points of agreements and disagreements. Summarize the areas of agreements and disagreements. Ask the other people if he or she agrees with your assessment. Then modify your assessment until both of you agree on the same areas of conflict. Then prioritize the areas of conflict. Discuss which area of conflict is more important to each of you to resolve first. Develop a plan to work on each conflict. Start with the most important conflict. Focus on the future. Set up future meetings times to continue your discussions. Then last one is follow through on your plan. Stick with the discussions until you have worked through each area of conflict. Maintain a collaborative, let's work out a solution attitude. And then we have build on your success. Compliment the other person's insights and achievements. Congratulate each other when you make progress, even if it's just a small step. Your hard work will pay off when scheduled discussions eventually give way on to ongoing. Friendly communication should be there. Next, we have the conflict management in the workplace. There are some tips by which you can overcome with the conflict. The first one is take immediate action. Take the immediate action. Don't linger on the problem that when the time will come, then we will talk on that problem, then we will find the solution of the problem. No, take the immediate action. Keep things positive. Keep the things positive. Don't say that, avoid explicitly stating that your goal is to resolve conflict, as this can be divisive and pit one side against the other. Instead, let your employees know that simply like to get their opinions on the matter or have a brainstorming session. Focus on the issue, not on the person. Focus on the issue. What the problem is, you have to focus on that, not on the person who is indulging to that. Be impartial in conflict management. You being the team manager, you should have to be impartial. You should not like that you are taking the side of the one and not taking into consideration the viewpoints of the another person. Show patience. While listening to others, you should show some patience. Have an open discussion. Both the parties get the chance to talk or to say what happened with them and what was the problem they are facing. Maintain a steady body language. Use the body language of others to understand if they feel sad, frustrated, irritated, or upset with the conflict. It helps you create a conflict management plan that does not aggravate the situation further. Next, we have the strategies of conflict management. We have the 5 strategies of conflict management, that is accommodation, compromise, avoidance, competition, and collaboration. This involves in accommodation, the first is it involves lose-win, where one team member is willing to relinquish their position. This shouldn't be interpreted of being coerced. The key word is willing to do that. The compromise, it involves a win-lose, where both the parties agree to find common ground through negotiation. Next is avoidance, a lose-lose situation where all parties agree to drop the issue. This typically happens in minor disagreements or when everyone accepts stepping back and cooling down is the best short-term solution. Then competition, a win-lose where one party attempts to dominate the issue. This should only be used when all else fails or in a crisis that must be handled immediately. Last but not the least is the collaboration, the ideal solution as it's win-win. However, it's also the most difficult to achieve as it requires strong elements of trust, respect, and empathy within the team. Teams only develop over time, and no two teams develop at the same pace. This method is most useful when there is time to consider multiple solutions that incorporate the individual talents of each team member. So this is all about team building and conflict management. Thank you.